Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you about that. That's new. I think you have to accept.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, it's brand new, guys. And Chairman, you could start whenever you're ready.
There you go. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Tonight is the May 24 AHRB meeting. And we have a few items on our agenda. First item is 15 Grandview Avenue.
Is there anyone here for 15 Grandview? Yes. Can you hear us?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry, this is Alyssa Costaruba, and I'm here with my husband, Blake Jose.
Okay, there we are.
How are you? So can you go into a presentation, understand this is a fence, and do you have the ability to share screen and show the images that you prepared?
No, I don't believe we have that ability.
All right, so I'll do the share screen presentation for you.
Okay.
Hold on one second, and I understand there are some neighbors that have some comments, and if you can, present the application while I'm showing the images. Yes.
Sure. So, good evening, everybody. My wife and I had applied for a permit to put in a 6-foot privacy fence to enclose our backyard. Our neighbors joining us.
Can you see it? Okay. Can you see the screen?
Okay. Yep.
Yes, that's the survey of our property
Okay.
that was.
So what we understand, this is Grandview Drive of Grove Street. The yellow highlight seems to be the fence.
Yes.
There is a gate on this 6'4" side on the right side, and there is another small piece of fence on this area. And along the, I would say, what's this?
It'll be the south side.
South side is the long fence, 6 foot high, and in the back also, correct?
Yes.
All right. So I'll keep showing, and you tell me. I see some letters, address from Pam Campbell. I see some compliance issues. That's the location, is location of the site. Some letters. Can you explain me what is this?
Okay, that appears to be a survey of the neighbor to the rear of our yard.
So,
And just to be clear,
That's what it is.
We
so
submitted
your
this.
plot is.
I'm sorry?
Let's see, that will be this one, right?
No,
No, 3.90-59-2.
This one here, right
Yes.
Yes.
here. Okay. So your plot is the lot
Yes.
E,
So we would be lot D.
D
Yep.
here. Oh,
Correct.
and just, we haven't read any of, I don't know if we're allowed to, but we haven't read any of the other letters or anything like that, so.
Okay, some images. Now this fence is existing.
Yes, there's an existing fence. Two of our neighbors to the north have existing fences. So we'll just be adding to that to enclose our backyard.
This is your house, correct?
Correct.
So you will be if this is an existing condition, where is the fence in this scenario?
So the fence will run across the back of the yard. Our property is pretty much outlined by those small arborvitae trees. And so the fence will go up on that line to enclose the yard.
Okay. It's kind of difficult to understand, but it's along this line, you mean?
Yes, correct.
So you're gonna build a fence along this line?
Correct. And then along the back line as well. So if you run up that line and go to the left where those little trees are, yes, correct.
Okay. All right. So, John, I understand this fence is compliant with the code. It's a picket fence, 6 foot high,
Yes.
and per code that's allowed. All right. So let's hear the neighbors, because I understand that there are like neighbors that requested to speak, and then we can have a discussion. Okay. Any neighbors?
I don't see anyone with their hands raised. If anyone's here to speak on 15 Grandview, can you please raise your hand? I don't see anyone, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. So the code, the fence seems compliant in terms of height and material, correct? So you probably will match the character of the existing fences, correct?
Yes. We're going to
So-
try to as close as we can.
As close as. So, Deepti, do you have any comments?
No, I'm fine with it.
Okay, Paul?
No, if it's all compliant, then I have no issue.
Okay. Did you guys read, or are you aware of the nature of the comments?
No, we haven't been privy to these comments yet.
So
So
it's safety concerns, routine maintenance, height and type, which is okay, historical aspects, okay, compromise my ability to sell my house, okay. I think those are all issues that are outside our purview.
mhm.
So it will be good if you address them directly with your neighbor and try to maintain, a neighborly relationship. But it's
Yeah.
it's outside our
Okay.
ability to prevent doing what you legally can. So I make a motion that we approve this fence. And do we have a second?
Second,
50 seconds, all in favor?
approve.
Thank you. All in favor. Thank you. So we go back to this, the second item on the agenda, which is 288 Ashford Avenue.
Arthur, can you hear us?
You're on mute.
Arthur, can you hear us? I think if I remember correctly, he had this problem at the zoning board too.
Oh, Jen, there's a question from him. Arthur Yellen is here. How can I get in? He said.
Yeah, he's on, but we had this problem before. He had to call in on his phone.
Okay.
Can you call in again?
Mr. Yellen, would you be able to present this application? You're muted, Jay.
He can. So what happened at the zoning board meeting was he had to call in
Okay.
and then somebody pulled up their screen.
So you want me to share the screen and make that presentation again?
Yes, but I have to make sure he calls in first.
I think that Dipti, Paul, I think it's I can try to review the application together, make the comments that we have, and wait until the technical issues are resolved.
Sounds
Is
good.
that something that is
Okay,
okay with everybody?
fine. You want to share the screen, Yair?
Yeah, I'll share the screen and make the comments. You know, we can have like a preliminary discussion until Arthur can figure out how to make comments. Hold on. Okay, so I'm sharing the screen now. And yeah, we have, this is the floor plan that it was presented to us. This is one of the issues that every time that I need to open,
You have to go back.
I need to go back and close, open and close. But that said, it's a walkway that needs to be covered by this walkway covered roof. Let me see if this is the, sorry.
Is that stair existing and we're just doing a cover, or is the stair and the cover new? Oh, here's the site plan. You found something.
No, you see, this is the corner of, I think, Florence, Irvington Street and Ashford.
Mhm.
Yes.
And the stairs, the walkway seems to be off the street in the back.
It is.
So this is Ashford, this is Irvington Street, and there is a macadam wall. There is, it seems to be a walkway. You can understand from the drawing, but
The stairs are existing.
the stairs are existing and
Yes.
need to be covered. And I understand that the materials of the stairs are metal, so they seems to be in winter time. A hazardous situation, a dangerous situation for the applicants. So this is the situation. This is the stair, the cover. This is the roof. There is a flat roof here. There is a strange connection here, but sorry. These are the details. This is the connection. And it's a plexiglass awning detail. So this is the plexiglass. And there is a sign. That's it, right? Basically, that's the entire application. So going back to the applications, any comments, Deepti, Paul? What do you think?
I think it's a little odd. This being a plexiglass cover, it feels like a railroad station. I don't know what else can be done with it. Is it visible from anywhere? Can we go back to that site plan? Because I couldn't figure out, I couldn't even open the site plan. You managed to find it.
The site plan is this one. So from what I understand, the location is here at the back. There are 3 lots and the back. Paul, what's your feelings?
No, I agree with Dipti to some degree, particularly I think we're at a disadvantage because we don't really see. I don't see photographs. I don't think I saw photographs of the house
Yeah,
to
the
see how it comprises with the house and the roof and the meeting of the stairwell stairs with that kind of awning above the doorway seems a little awkward.
Okay. Um,
Now that photograph was sideways, right? I don't know if you can.
Sideways, yeah,
rotate.
and it's a fragment of the house. So this is my comments, which I'm glad that at least we are all in the same page regarding the comments. The main issue here is that the way the application is presented is in fragments, and it's very difficult to understand. First, we don't see any picture of the house. We don't have a drawing of the house, so we don't know pretty much how this um, walkway integrates to the rest of the house. And the second thing is we don't know how visible is this addition or attachment or is perceived from the neighbors. So since I had a chance to review this application today, and I didn't have a chance to go by the site, I will not be fair, not to the applicant, not to the neighbors, if I don't stop by and see how this walkway is perceived from the neighbors. My comment will be, I would like to stop by the house and walk and see how visible this element is, and definitely the connection of the walkway of this roof connects to the existing house, because it seems strange the way it's connected now with the plexiglass. It might be a disservice, but it might not be visible at all. So I don't want to make a big deal out of it. But I have to be fair to the process, and I think this is one of the things I will need to go to the area and walk it, and for that I will recommend to continue this application. What do you think,
I
Deep?
think that's reasonable. I agree with that.
Yeah.
And I think I would probably be willing to do that myself as well.
We definitely need more information, photographs of the existing stair, photographs of the existing house. And I would agree, we need to go and visit the site.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to be fair to the neighbors, because this might be a imposing structure if it's too close. It's too close to the lot lines, and that's why I think we have to be sensitive to what it is. So, with if everybody has anything else to say, if anybody doesn't have anything else to say, I will make a motion to continue this application. Do we have a second? 50 seconds. All in favor? Mr. Yalin, sorry we couldn't hear your opinions. I hope I represented your application properly. Thank you very much. Okay, so we move to the next item on the agenda, which is 30 Heatherway.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi, this is Steve Seacon. I'm working with the Smith Schwartz family, doing an addition out the back. We were recently received planning board approval and are before you now to get your feedback on the addition that we're planning. So if it's okay with you, I'll share my screen.
Please.
I don't know who's been to the site or not, but Heather Way is a fairly steep street, and the house is situated at the turn in the street. And what we're trying to do is basically, oops, is to create bear with me one moment when I pull this up. So the image that you just saw was from Google Earth. We were looking in this vantage point. And basically what we're looking to do is to take over the space that was formerly the garage and relocate the garage toward the rear, and at the same time provide a elevated deck for the family room. So, we're just trying to keep in the same vocabulary for the fencing and railing, add a little bit more light into the former garage, providing a small skirt roof above, a couple of brackets, trying to unite some of these windows, new windows and existing windows. And then at the rear, just adds a pair of, French doors to the back. The siding will all be, same existing to match. The garage door will be insulated, fiberglass, and have a couple of little vision panels. And the windows and fixed light doors here will be Anderson 400 series, the vinyl clad. The roofing on top will match just simple asphalt shingle roofing. The trim will all be like white composite, either like AZEK or Borel. Add maybe a little bit of a, a planter box just to give it a little bit of life. Be basically asphalt to match the existing. And then at the bottom, we would do some kind of stone apron to match the existing retaining wall. And any kind of light fixture that we put in here will be shielded, no glare, frosted lens. And any kind of light fixture that we'd put here is going to be a sconce, that has a shield, just just enough to, navigate by, not read or do anything crazy. So I'd be happy to answer any questions or any, feedback you might have.
Steve, thank you for showing the presentation on 3D, because it was kind of very difficult for me, at least, to understand what was proposed in the drawings. Now that we see this 3D presentation, it's much clearer and better way to understand what you're proposing. Just one quick question. When you mention that you're trying to match the stone, or you're trying to do the AZEK or the other, I don't remember what you mentioned, is something that is spec'd, or the light fixtures, is it something that you spec'd in the drawings, or it's not defined yet?
Um, it's not defined yet, but that's what will be in the specs because it's, I mean, it's going to be out to bid shortly,
Okay.
but the parameters of the dark sky code and so forth, will all be adhered
All
to.
be met, yeah. So then from my end, what I see is an improvement to the existing house. It doesn't change the character. It improves the, it makes a lot of sense. I would like to make a recommendation or a vote based on what is being spec'd. And I believe from the choices that you made, I would have no problem on recommending this application for approval. Unless Deepti or anybody else has a different opinion, I would like to make sure that we are voting for something that is already decided and not changed later.
I can certainly, document the lighting that's going to be chosen.
I'm sure that you'll do the right choice. I have no issue with that, and I believe that this is going in the right direction. And just as a matter of protocol, I would like to make a recommendation based on something that is spec'd and including the retaining wall materials, finalizing finalizing the decisions on finishes. Deepti, Paul, what's your feelings?
Yeah. Hi, Stephen. How are you? That was composite siding. The picture that you showed us initially, you showed us a photograph of the existing house. What kind of siding was that?
That was just wood.
That was wood. It was not composite. So that's what you're going to match. And then the lower level was concrete.
Right. The lower, this is just going to be, yes, sorry, I pulled off. The lower part was just stucco on concrete.
Stucco on
And
concrete.
the upper part, I can pull up the picture again if you like.
Yeah. And then if you have a site plan of some kind, I just want to see that.
Sure. Hang on just one sec.
Thank you.
So this,
The blue is what you proposed, the addition, right? The light blue.
the light blue is the addition back here. And this area, this gray block is new driveway. And you can kind of see, because of the drop off, we need to build up a retaining wall. And you can see in the back, this is the basically stucco on concrete, and then up here is the wood. So that's basically the same kind of approach that we take, just to try to blend it in.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
I'm good with it.
Paul?
Oops.
Yeah, no, it looks like an improvement. Looks like on the front of the house there's brick. Is that correct?
Yeah, there is some
That
partial
brick?
what happened to my screen? Yeah, a part has a little bit of a brick veneer in the front.
Yeah.
And, it has that sort of early 80s vibe. So we're trying to work with it, but make it a little bit, nicer.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to stay brick then in the front, and then you're going to come around with the stucco on concrete, wrapping around the sides and back? Is that correct?
Right. Because it's,
the addition is, it looks like the addition is facing towards woods, essentially. It's on a hill, so I understand the retaining wall that's necessary. That makes perfect sense. I think it's an improvement, no doubt about it. I wish you could kind of keep the materials a little bit less disparate, but you're kind of continuing what the house already presently is. So I'm not going to get hung up on that. But that's just a minor preference. I think this is approvable. Pending the details, I think Ayer is right. It would be nice to have those details set in the application so that we can approve the final product.
Understood.
All right. So if it's okay with you, Stephen, we can continue this application pending basically finalizing the specifications, specing the light fixtures, specing the materials, specing the final stone walls. But from my part, I trust your choices and trust that we'll
Can I-
be good ones. But
Can I just make a suggestion?
yes,
Because the only thing that's not memorialized and documented is the lighting fixture. And
is
you
it
know,
the but you mentioned that the stone wall is not spec'd.
it is to match existing,
Too much. Everything is too much existing.
match existing, right?
Okay, so
So it's field stone. It's going to be the same bonding pattern, colors. You know, just in terms of trying to get a contractor who's seldom available, we would like to just try to expedite this. And if we can possibly memorialize the lighting fixture choice, you know, with
so the John, I didn't look into details. I just maybe it was the matter of your presentation that you were saying we were not sure or which direction to take. But we can make an approval subject to the specifications at the set, and making sure that on the drawings, on the documents, the lighting, exterior lighting complies with the code, with the code section as required. And when all is that, you know, if we have a consistent application, then you know, it's between you and the village and John.
thank you for your flexibility.
Okay, so on that basis, I make a a motion.
This is going to be
approve it.
pending the reading of the resolution at the next planning board meeting. So you can approve it.
We can approve it based on
Yeah.
subject to approval of planning board, correct?
Well, they just need to legally read the resolution at the next meeting.
All right.
So,
So we can approve it
Yeah.
pending the reading
mhm.
of the resolution and pending completion of compliance with the lighting section of the code. And we have a second.
Second,
Deeply seconds, all in favor?
approved.
Thank you. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Night.
And then Steve, next time it will be much better for us if you
Hold on, Chairman. I kicked him off before you
Oh.
started talking. I'm sorry. Just give him a second and then he'll hear you if you
That's
talk
okay.
now.
That's okay. That's maybe a final comment on what we were talking to John, that the applications in general should be clearer for understanding, for our understanding. We are not challenged enough with these digital formats and the limitations of the formats. All we need is clear applications. So on that note, we go to the next application, which is 35 Hillside, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Niall, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Whoops. Yes, I can hear you. You can see me and hear me.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I know.
Hi. So I'm going to share the screen, and here we go. Again. Computer was acting slow, but hopefully it won't now. So this is a pretty straightforward application. It's 35 Hillside Road, which is near Hastings. It is just east of the aqueduct and between Hillside and Colonial Avenue. This is, of course, the house in question here. And this is the yard. We're doing a landscaping project within the confines of this existing fence that includes paving, planting, and a little sort of plunge pool that's partially submerged. And that's really it. This is looking up from the northwest corner, the aqueduct starting right here, looking up, and the landscaping is going to be along here. It's all low plants, and again, the plunge pool is here. You won't even see it, actually. This is from the southwest corner looking up. And again, this is that same, well, these are the two, you saw this view before, but this is the view of that backyard looking north, and this is the view looking south. And again, everything is within the confines of this fence. And this is just the context. This is Hillside Avenue here. And this is looking southwest. And looking up the street towards the east from the north side and down. This is the Washington headquarters building here. Give you some context if you don't sort of know the property. I'm sure you know Washington's headquarters. This I threw in because the planning board, the survey calls this a retaining wall. So there was some concern about a retaining wall, and it's not a retaining wall. It's just loose stones, and it's more of a planning board issue, but this hill is very well grown with mature trees, and there's no issue at all in terms of the pool as it relates to any steep slope or retaining wall or what have you. This is the survey here. It's a site plan, and again showing there's a series of different pavings, just sort of having fun with different sort of paving solutions. And I'll actually go and all know where it is, right? There's a little site plan here. I think you're all familiar with it. This drawing is more pertinent. This shows the soak pool, or soak spa, as the company calls it, or plunge pool, and it's partially submerged, as shown in this section. There's going to be stone here with a blue stone cap. We have bluestone paving. And this bluestone paving with a little sort of mongo grass between the joints sort of opens up. And then we have gravel, riverstone here with some loose pavers. And this is underneath the existing deck, this portion here. There's a deck, that balcony that you saw in the photographs, and we're not altering that in any way. Here there's just a little fire pit area with a little bench. That's the detail here. It's Ipe boards. There's a little LED light under it that'll just illuminate the bottom of it, just glow a bit from this end. And then we have a series of planting. There's a planting schedule here, various old sort of low bushes and some ornamental grass. And then we have in-ground lighting. That's really the only lighting we're putting in. Just some nice soft in-ground lighting, all of which will comply with the village code. As far as any off lighting. And this is essentially exactly the pool here. This is the pool with the stone, with the blue stone coping. And oh, and by the way, this is for, did I announce myself? I did. I'm Niall Kane, architect for, sorry, Randall Meyer and Tim Newport. Forgot about that part. They're the owners of the building, the project. This is a little in-ground light here. So it just has some nice soft light that, just illuminates the plants, really.
So how big is the pool?
It's just, how big is it? It's just 14 by, I can zoom in here, to be honest, I've sort of forgotten. No, 13 feet by 7 feet.
Interesting.
So it's really a little, I don't know if you want to call it a plunge pool or just a soak pool. There'll be a little lighting in the pool. And this is a section through the, this is the actual pool from the pool company. So yeah, really that's the long and short of it. Again, this fence is 4 feet tall, it complies with the code, and we're going to make it put some self-closing hinges on it. And we'll put the proper, we're supposed to have a little alarm on the door. So we're doing all that to make it code compliant.
All right. So
yeah, that's about it.
Any comments, Deepti, Paul?
These have become very popular since the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people
multiple companies
see
are
it.
all backed up. They're sorry.
No, I think this looks fine to me.
Paul?
Looks good.
Looks
Is
good.
this a house? Did we look at this house recently?
I don't think so.
Or is this?
For
Okay.
me, no.
Yeah, and I
Not
thought
from
that was
anyone. It hasn't been sort of altered in a while.
okay.
They're
No,
new.
but it looks good. I think you did a good job.
Well, I agree with my colleagues. I don't have any comment to add, so we can make it quick. We can approve this application. I make a motion to approve this application as submitted. Do you have a second?
Pending planning board approval.
And pending planning, subject to planning.
We've done the preliminary planning board, and we just have to do the final, presumably.
All right. So from our
Public
end,
hearing.
we can approve it and recommending for planning board approval. Okay. So do we have a second?
Second.
Dipti seconds. All in favor? Thank you. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
And the last item on the agenda is 3 Crescent Lane. On the 3 Crescent Lane, I didn't see any drawings. Maybe I missed something. John?
Let me look on the website here.
I couldn't find. There's only it's an exterior.
There's construction drawings on the website.
Yeah, but there are no material.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right. So that's
No materials listed.
okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
This is a relatively limited project. That's a good word for it. It's a very simple thing. They're trying to make a play area for their children and improve their backyard. There's no change to the house. There's no new construction of like a shed or anything like that. What it consists of is a retaining wall that I'll show in a minute, and some bluestone terrace replacing some slate, some additional landscaping, and a couple of little things, but nothing more than that. So and this is Patty Steinschneider from Gotham's Design, coming to you this Monday evening. So let me take you through. This is the survey of the property. This property is at the corner of Crescent Lane and Hickory Hill Drive. It's that whole Hickory Hill development of houses that were done in about a 10-year period that is a little different for Dobbs, but it's a nice neighborhood. It's a nice place to live. I've just rotated because all the drawings are this orientation. So here's the survey of the property. This is the corner. Here's the house, 2-car garage. This is their existing back patio. They want to take up the existing slate and put down new bluestone, expand that a little bit. And they'd like to make the side yard on this side of the street, or this side of the house, be more level and a play area for their children. They have 2 young kids, and it's probably the COVID experience, but how wonderful it would be to be able to just open up the back door and let their kids run out and play in the yard safely. Because they're on a corner, and I'll show you a drawing here. If you look at the idea of people kind of speeding up Hickory Hill, because it is a steep hill and people accelerate, they're on a nice trajectory right for that yard. So the parents would like their children to be safe. So the idea is to build a 3-foot retaining wall, level out the yard, put a railing on top, and have a nice play area for their kids. Walking you just through the drawings, this has all been submitted for the planning board, which is coming up next week. It was actually a surprise that we were on the Architectural and Historic Review Board. I appreciate it greatly in the village for expediting this, but that meant that you didn't get these drawings. You should have gotten the previous drawing, though, that we submitted, which had all the same information, but it was all on one sheet. Here is the existing conditions showing that this existing slate is to be removed and replaced, tree protection, Here is the site plan showing the expansion of the paved area in the backyard with bluestone, a concrete base for a hot tub, some plantings, some additional trees. Well, you'll see that on the landscape plan. And then here's where we're proposing the retaining wall with planting in front so that it screens it with a railing on top. So this would be a fun, nice play area for their kids. Here is the drainage plan. We're adding less than 400 square feet. So we've used the Han memo that says when you're doing less than 400 square feet, this is the storage system that is their recommendation. So I hope that we're in good shape with that. We also have the, the silt fence and that information on here, the stockpile. Here is the landscaping plan. We're proposing to add 3 street trees. Right now, this is relatively barren. So 3 street trees that would be on their property, not in the right of way, with the retaining wall in front and the area planted in front of the retaining wall with the material that's listed. Also, they want to put a deer fence back around the property here, tying into this so they can control the yard. I guess the only other thing really that we're doing is there's 2 condensers over here that we're moving to this side. The planning board was a little concerned about that because they were afraid that we were very close to a neighbor. We're not. We're actually about the same distance to the property line here as we are in the rear yard. But this house is very close, whereas this house is further away. We're moving the existing shrubbery that's screening the 2 condensers over to screen that from the side. And as you'll see in a minute, I can show you some photographs of what that area looks like. This is the system that they have selected to do the walls. This is a photograph from their existing backyard. So these retaining walls are there now, and they would like to use the same material in the front. So here are some photos that give you a sense of what the house looks like. This is from Crescent Lane. Look at the front of the house. This is looking at the corner. This is the yard area where the retaining wall would be, that we're raising that up. It's the exposed portion of the retaining wall will be approximately 3 feet tall. This is the side yard that will be leveled out. This is basically showing you where the retaining wall would be in that side yard. It's behind the front of the house, and it comes out to being close to the property line and then tapering back into the site. So this would be the area of the retaining wall. There'd be a railing on top, and that would be the play area for the kids. This tree has already been approved for being removed. They want to get more light into the backyard. At the same time, they want to maintain their privacy for when they're in the hot tub. So we've got on the landscaping plan, you'll see there's screening that'll be of the 8 to 10 foot kind of variety, as opposed to something that is so tall it puts the whole backyard into darkness. Here is their backyard now. This is the slate terrace that will be removed and brought out further with a new bluestone terrace. There'll be 3 green giant arborvitaes that we planted in with the existing arborvitaes here to again give them a little bit more screening. And I think that's pretty much everything that we're talking of doing, except I've got those shots of the side yard. This is here's the backyard looking out towards the street, towards Hickory Hill. This is the tree that will come down. We'll be having that other planting in here to give that screening still. Here are the condensers that get moved. Those condensers will be moved. Actually, this is just showing how close the neighboring house is when people are concerned about us moving the condensers to the side yard. We're further from the neighbor in the side yard than we are in the backyard. And these are the existing green giant arborvitaes that we'll be adding 3 to down in here to continue that line. This is where we'll be adding the condenser units. And this is what that side yard looks like. It's very heavily screened. So I don't think it should be an objection to anyone. And that's the source of the presentation. So any questions that you may have?
No, I don't think it's the only thing is it's good that you show us the full presentation, because I couldn't understand it much from what was submitted, but it was clarifying what was submitted. Now that we have some material, I would like to visit. I will say the same thing that I apologize, because I've reviewed the application today. I couldn't do it over the weekend, and I would like to stop by and see the condition of the corner. And I understand they will use the same retaining walls. I would like to go personally by the corner and review it, but I think we know I will doubt that I will object it, but I will feel better if I stop by the place. Deepti, Paul.
Can you show the site plan again? The plan again, Patty?
Here's the site plan.
So the corner that we are talking about is the one on Hickory Hill Drive.
Well, Hickory
I get
Hill
it.
is
I
here.
get where you're putting the wall now. Okay. And that's going to have a railing. It's going to be fenced out if it's going to be a children's play area.
Yep. 3-foot railing on top of the retaining wall that ranges from grade to a maximum height of 3 feet right here.
Mhm.
If we were 6 inches lower with the retaining wall, we would not have, this wouldn't require a permit.
How high is the retaining wall going to be?
3 feet.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, you said that.
Yeah, 3 feet at its highest point.
3 feet at its highest point, because towards the back, it's going to taper, right?
Exactly. Here, it just blends to grade.
Got it. Yeah, I agree with Yair. It probably is going to be fine, but maybe you can stop by and take a quick look.
Is there any way we could see an elevation
An elevation of what?
of the wall, what it's going to look like?
Well, we've got photographs of the wall built here in the backyard. So it's at its highest, it's one of these.
Yeah, it's just the same wall with a fence on top.
Right.
So I think we'll be fine, but I will feel much better if I stop by this place.
Yeah, I mean, you know my propensity for an appreciation for stone walls. In a different neighborhood, I might be pushing for that, but given the fact that these existing retaining walls are on the property and that this yard continues from here to the front, it just seems like it makes more sense to me that we're matching what's there. And it's not, this isn't a neighborhood of the 1800s. This whole development was built, I think, starting in the 60s.
Yeah.
So it's
fair points and comments well taken. In any event, since we are, get a feeling of the area, I agree with that. The retaining walls that you're showing are in the back and they're fine. However, at the corner, I'm concerned that I don't want to make it too sterile looking, and that might be appropriate, might not be. I don't know.
Yeah.
I like
the landscaping that we've proposed in front of the wall out on the street is much more intense than this. So the idea is you really won't notice the retaining wall. You'll see a wall of green.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. I think we'll be fine. Just want to.
I believe the owner is on the call in case he has any concerns. I know he was hoping to get construction started shortly after the planning board meeting. When is your next meeting?
Let's see.
Second Tuesday of June. I don't know.
I'm just looking for a date. I can
I think
do
it's June 14th, I think.
Monday.
Well, we are
Second
talking
Monday.
about let's say
June.
9. First, would you mind sending us the application? You can email it to me.
No, I mean, we've submitted all that.
The
Presentation. I'll send you the whole package that we put in.
send me the package that we've seen this evening.
Yeah.
We are only. I said we. I said I. We'll only double check the corner retaining wall, and that's the extent of my double checking. That's it. I couldn't really understand it from the application, from the one-pager application, because, but now that I see the pictures, it's more clear. I apologize that I had only limited time to review the application, but that's the only thing I would like to check. I would like to get a better sense of the area. All the rest of the application is perfect.
Are you going to want to do that individually, or do you want to have like a site walk?
Individually, I really.
We'll just drive by.
Yeah, just a drive-by.
But drive safely.
Yes, of course.
Children are playing outside in the yard, unprotected, and exposed to that crazy traffic on the hill. Richard is here. He is. There is the owner of the home who would love his children to be happy.
Children will be happy.
He's very committed to it. He brought them down to see Santa Claus when Santa Claus was down at the Memorial Park. I think it was the same day that that we first met, and his kid was still wearing or wasn't wearing the same T-shirt that he had worn in the morning. And so Santa turned to the kid and said, "Why aren't you wearing your Spider-Man T-shirt?" And the kid was like, "Wow, how does Santa know I have a Spider-Man T-shirt?" So it was fun.
Yeah, and I just want to we are on the corner, and we understand that our corner is, people drive up, they drive down, and certainly we want our home because we take pride in our property and how it looks, and that's something that I'd like to just communicate from me, like the property, the planting, the manicuring as it stands now is I would say meticulous. My neighbors say we're the anchor of the block, so we don't plan on changing any of that. How we look. We're just concerned that the traffic it's fast. It's fast.
I don't think we are talking about the appropriateness of the wall or leveling. We are talking about the materials. And that's it.
Okay.
That's on my end. I just want to see how appropriate that stone for the corner. In the back, I said I had no argument. It looks appropriate. But at the corner, because of how visible it is, I'm not that familiar with the immediate area.
Sure.
I'd like to double check it. That's all.
Sure. Yep. That's not a problem. So what does that mean for us? You'll stop by and then we can hopefully move
I
forward.
can review it. I can call Paddy and give him my impression.
Richard, is for you. You're eager to get this in construction. Their next meeting is the second Monday in June. So if you think, I'm thinking that Monday is the 31st, so it'll be 2 weeks from this Monday.
Look,
Sure. Sounds great.
If Rich, I will say that start lining up budgets and prices and lining up people, because you will get it approved.
Okay.
It's, just to the worst case scenario, I'll try to convince Patty to change the materials of that stone.
It's not up to me. I'm just a guy who does what my owner tells me to do.
Okay.
I just do what I'm told. That's all.
Oh yeah. Okay, so
All right.
that's
Thank you. Thank
Dipti, Paul, any comments?
If you could indulge me, I apologize if you've already gone over this, but you said there's going to be a fence above the retaining wall?
Correct.
A railing.
A railing.
Yeah.
Did you go over the material of the railing, what it's going to look like?
I mean, what we've talked about is a steel railing with vertical, vertical balusters.
Okay.
4 inches on center. Something that, fades out, dark color, probably like either a Litchfield green, that black green, or just, a black, so that it feels, it blends in naturally with the landscaping. I mean, would you rather it be a wood or something like that?
No, I think that's probably fine. Maybe some details regarding the materials and what it's going to look like would be nice. Whether or not it's going to go all the way to the end of the retaining wall, or it's going to ends because retaining wall gets so short at the, I don't know.
A request has been made that we add an elevation of the retaining wall. I thought it was so low that it would be hard to do it, but we will do it. We'll draw an elevation of the retaining wall with the railing on top so you can see what that really looks like.
Oh, maybe.
Okay. Deepti?
Yeah, I agree with Paul.
Okay, so I make a motion to continue this application to complete the requested additional information, and looking forward to approve it in the next meeting. Sorry. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? So I guess thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
And with that, we make a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting. Seconds. Paul seconds. All in favor. Thank you. Thank you all. Good evening.